As always, you guys know it's tradition. Before every game, especially the ones on the road, I go to the very, very top deck, and I'm going to go to the very top seat here of SoFi Stadium to give you guys the tour. This is one of the architectural wonders of the sporting world. As you can see behind me, the massive screen, record size, it rings around. If you're down lower, then you have the inside of the screen, which is also functional to be able to see from there. And if you're in these upper deck seats ahead of 49ers-Rams, so you can see, it just popped up on the scoreboard, 49ers-Rams. Well, if you're in these upper deck seats, then you can definitely see the action through the screen if you feel that you're too high up. And I don't think that right here where I'm at, this is the first row of the very upper deck. I think these are good seats. You'll see as we move further up that it gets a little bit smaller. It looks like ants playing football down on the field. But 49ers-Rams today, it's going to be fun. Overnight, we went to bed and the 49ers were 1-point favorites. We talked a lot about that, right? We woke up today and the 49ers were 1-point underdogs. So the line moved 2 points in the Rams' favor because there's a lot of money coming in from the general public on the Rams after Deebo Samuel was ruled out on Friday. So the 49ers are officially underdogs in this game. It's probably going to stay that way until kickoff. And we've got about, 2 or 3 hours until kickoff right now, maybe 3 hours until kickoff. So we're looking at it right now, though. SoFi Stadium. It's going to be, I think, 70% 49ers fans. They haven't started letting fans in yet. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the tour. So it's daunting sometimes, right? Walking, doing a YouTube video, walking up the stairs. But that's exactly what we have to do. We got to go up these stairs, get to the very top seat of SoFi Stadium, and then look down and see what the view is. So we're going to go from here. And we're going to talk some football along the way. I'm not going to make you guys watch me walk, but you can hear me walk as we go straight up these stairs right here. So let's go. Off we go, all the way to the top. No Deebo Samuel today for the 49ers. We're going to wait on the status of Jauan Jennings. They called up Tay Martin from the practice squads, rookie 6'3" wide receiver, to, I think, be insurance in case Jauan Jennings can't go with his hamstring injury. And they also called up T.Y. McGill, the defensive tackle from the practice squad, to beef up that position group with both Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw still unavailable. Almost there. Just get ready for the big reveal when we spin the camera back around. Making it to the top. 3 more steps. Here we are. SoFi. So for me, I'm going to sit down here on the very top seat. For me, it's between SoFi Stadium and Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta as the 2 most spectacular venues in the NFL today. We were at Mercedes-Benz Stadium a couple weekends ago, and I was blown away there. And I also like the food in the press box. It was awesome. They had this like Asian Southern fusion mix in the press box. And I will say that Mercedes-Benz Stadium has better food in the press box than SoFi. So Mercedes-Benz probably has spot 1A, but SoFi is 1B. And it's not lost on me that SoFi, as you can see right here, SoFi is a San Francisco-based company. And as you can see, the S and the F are both capitalized. I find it very fitting that SoFi Stadium is named after a San Francisco-based company where the S and the F are both capitalized, since this is essentially the 49ers' home away from home. We are going to see these seats filled with, I think, 70% 49ers fans today. You're going to see a lot of red, and it's going to stand out because the seats, as you can tell, are this darkish gray color. It's not going to be like Atlanta where the seats were red, so you couldn't really tell where you couldn't really tell if the seats had 49ers fans in them. Here, you're going to see the 49ers fans. You're probably going to hear the 49ers fans. Actually, I'm sure that you will hear the 49ers fans because they're going to make noise that reverberates off of this ceiling. And you heard him last year, and Kelly Stafford, Matthew Stafford's wife, complained about it. The Rams try to freeze ticket sales for the NFC Championship game after this place shook while the 49ers clinched their playoff berth. Ambry Thomas intercepted that pass in overtime, and the press box shook. So the Rams had we all know the stories. The Rams had to go on silent count at their own home stadium, but perhaps it's fitting because SoFi SF is a San Francisco-based company. So they named this knowing that the 49ers would be the dominant team here as far as fan presence goes. All kidding aside, and maybe I'm not kidding that much given what's happened here, home field advantage component of this cannot be understated. Again, the 49ers have generally played really well here. The one loss, of course, came in the NFC Championship game, which unfortunately for them was the most important game at SoFi Stadium. But that leads us into talking about the matchup today. And in the NFC Championship game, the Rams shut down the 49ers' quick release passing attack. That was the key to victory for the Rams. They made Garoppolo go 3.1 seconds snap to release. I've talked about it a lot. Tiger coverage, cutting off some of the wide receiver screen passes. And perhaps, the fact that Deebo Samuel's unavailable for this game means that the 49ers don't rely as heavily on the wide receiver screen game, and they go to the running back screen game, and that's Christian McCaffrey, whose last game for the Panthers happened 2 weeks ago on this field. And perhaps that can allow the 49ers to bust out a new set of plays and a new kind of offensive framework that the Rams aren't quite used to seeing from them yet. Whatever can allow the 49ers to go to quick release football, even with the Rams trying to counter that because it worked for the 49ers in week 4, I think will be good for San Francisco in this game. And I think that's why Christian McCaffrey, obviously with Deebo Samuel, he's going to be a big piece. But for the quick release reasons, that makes McCaffrey even more nice. All right, so we're walking over to the ledge right here. There's that big body of water outside SoFi. You see that a lot on outside stadium shots. That wasn't filled yet during year 1 of the stadium in 2020. They got the Olvera Street Mexican food area right there. That's a good area near downtown LA to sample some of the Mexican cuisine, and they try to locally source their food here at SoFi Stadium. So they got an upper deck spot on the concourse, and then you could see the big scoreboard here. Now, you see that building in red? That's the Forum, the LA Forum, formerly the Great Western Forum, home of the Lakers, Magic Johnson, Showtime, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and of course Wayne Gretzky and the LA Kings hockey team. Iconic arena, but you could see the juxtaposition between old architecture and new architecture right here in SoFi Stadium, the majestic SoFi Stadium. All that noise that they're rehearsing for halftime shows and in between quarter performances, commercial break performances, all that happens early on in games. All right, let's talk about the other side of the football here as we continue to preview 49ers and Rams from SoFi Stadium. 49ers had 35 pressures and 7 sacks against the Rams in week 4. The Rams didn't have their starting center, Brian Allen, for most of that game. He got hurt early on. They went to their third stringer, Jeremiah Colon. Brian Allen's going to be back for this game. That's a big deal. The Rams also had Joe Noteboom at left tackle in that game. He gave up 8 pressures. He has since torn his Achilles. They're going to have Alaric Jackson at left tackle. Long story short, I don't think the 49ers are going to have the same advantage that they had up front that they did. They had Eric Armstead, too, in that game. They won't have him here. So this is going to be a much harder game for the 49ers in the trenches than it was in week 4. And that's, I think, part of the reason of why LA is now favored by a point. The 49ers were favored in week 4, and they won by 2 touchdowns. It's going to be a dogfight. It always is. And, we could talk about no Deebo Samuel, no Eric Armstead, injury disadvantages for the 49ers, but they have to find a way to just make plays and get it done here. They essentially have a home game with the home field advantage in the crowd. And the difference between winning and losing today is a big one. If you win, you're 4-4 heading into the bye week. You're feeling good about yourself. You're right in the driver's seat of the NFC West. You have about a 66% chance to make the playoffs, according to DVOA from Football Outsiders. If you lose this game, it's down to 33%, and you're 3-5 entering the bye week. and you're not feeling good about yourself. And, you know, I don't care if you were 3-5 last year and you climbed out of it to make the playoffs. Nobody wants to be 3-5. Last year was fun for the 49ers because they scratched and clawed their way out of that 3-5 hole with a miraculous tightrope back. But the key word there is miraculous. You can't expect a miracle every single season. So you don't want to start 3-5. I don't think it would take a miracle, but it would take a hell of a lot of good stuff happening, and the 49ers would rather be 4-4 leaving SoFi today. All right, guys, that is the stadium tour. 49ers-Rams from this field in just a couple hours. Like the video, sub to the channel. We will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care.